Curfew. It is important that your children have some boundaries, particularly the teenagers have some boundaries within which they need to be home. I would look around at what's happening in the age zone among the friends and still be age appropriate and to meet the needs of your own individual child. My feeling is that no, they can't go out during the week because their job is to do homework. I had a 10-minute grace period, so if you were due in at 11, you could be in at 11:10 and there would be no consequence. And for each minute after 11:10 that you chose not to be home, penny would go in the jar. You would have 15 minutes off of when you go out the next time you go out. One of my rules was that sometimes they'd call and they want to have it extended, the curfew extended. I don't want to call at 11 o'clock or 11:15 if the curfew's at 11. So my rule was if you call a half an hour before the curfew, then I'll listen. Otherwise, you're on the minute drill, and every minute you choose not to be here is going to cost you time off your life. But if they called by 10:30 and they said, and if it's reasonable, we're watching a movie, got started late, it'll be over by 11:30. Is it okay if I don't get home till 11:45? If that's reasonable and it feels reasonable to you, okay. But don't let them call it the time that they're due in or after the time that they are due in. I think the curfew has to do when the curfew is. What is the child doing? If the child is a teenager is going to a dance, then you find out what time the dance ends. And then within a reasonable amount of time after the dance, they need to be home. If they're going to a movie, what time does the movie end? Within a reasonable time, they need to be home. I'm talking about earlier teens, younger teens than older teens. And a curfew needs to be set and enforced so that children learn, one, to work within boundaries, but also that they come in at a time that's safe, and also they get enough sleep. Brain development, health, bone structure, they need their sleep. And you need to keep them safe. Curfews are a good thing. Don't ask your children, they don't think so.